Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Teacher Stacy, and I am a teacher for VIPKid. Today, I will be talking to you about 5 tips that you can use to build your business as a VIPKid teacher. Now, I have been with VIPKid for about 3 years now. I'm on my 6th contract, and my 7th contract will be renewed in April. So a few months shy of 3 years with VIPKid. I do currently work about 55 classes or so a week, and I'm done by 8 in the morning. I do have one student that does that 8 to 8:30 coveted schedule that he books about 3 times a week. So other than that, all of my classes are before 8 a.m., and I do work Friday and Saturday nights. Are you ready to learn 5 tips that will help you grow your VIPKid business? Let's go. Tip number 1, smile. That's right, smile. Smile constantly. Don't stop smiling. Try to smile as much as you can during the entire lesson. Yes, it hurts your face. It does, but it makes the student feel happy and welcome. And if you want to grow your business with VIPKid, you want students to feel happy and welcome in your classroom, right? This face that I'm presenting to you is much better than, oh, right, yeah, good job, yeah. What you'll notice if you watch the replays of your classes is that when you think you're making these huge grand gestures on your face, when you watch the class, it's actually really tiny, and it doesn't come across through the camera as well as you think it does when you're making those gestures in the moment. So make sure that you're smiling really huge. Right, awesome, great job, when you're in class to help that child feel warm, welcome, and loved by their best VIPKid teacher. Which brings me to tip number 2. Special. Make every student in your classroom feel special. Now that's easier said than done, right? Because, how do you do that? Well, it's easy. When you have those few moments at the beginning of class when you're talking to your student, use those moments to get to know them. You can ask them questions about what they like and try to figure out what makes them special. Do they have a special toy? Do they like a special thing? Are they really into Ultraman? If you have a boy between the ages of 5 and 8, I guarantee, almost guarantee, he's into Ultraman. You can find out these special things about your student and use them as your props, as your reward, those types of things to help your student feel special. Now, if your student, let's say, is a girl and she has a doll, and when she tells you what her doll's name is, remember that. And that next class, ask her, how's your doll? Call her by her name so that that student feels special. Kids that feel special will rebook your class. Tip number 3 for building your VIPKid business. Number 3, know the curriculum. Take time before class to get to know the curriculum. Now, VIPKid curriculum, particularly the major courses, go in a steady flow. Usually you see vocabulary first, and then grammar, then phonics, then math. Sometimes you'll see these a little bit out of order, but generally through level 2, level 3, you'll see these in that order. Sometimes in level 3, you'll see math at the beginning, okay? Now, you should also know that most of those sections, vocabulary, grammar, math, they usually go in a particular order. You'll see I, P, and A at the top of the screen. I means introduce, P means practice, and A means assess. So the student is doing things more independently on the A slides than they're doing them on the I slides. This is a way of helping the student to learn something and then become more independent with it. So you should also use this as an opportunity to know when to give your reward. It feels very disjointed and like you don't know your curriculum if you give the student the reward and then they still have 1 or 2 phonics slides left before you move on to the next topic in the class. So use that A slide to know that that's when you would give your reward, is after the last A slide. It makes you look like you know what you're doing in class and that you know the curriculum really well. Tip number 4 is to give great feedback. This is after the class is over and you're writing up your summary of how the student did in class. You want to give great feedback. You want to tell the parents not only about what the kid learned in class, they can watch the playback and learn that. They want to know, what was your assessment of what they saw in the class? They're paying you to provide them with an assessment of how the child is doing. So to have great feedback, you want to make some recommendations in your feedback about what the child can do to get even better at these different skills that they're learning. And tip number 5, follow up. If you have a student that's booked your class and maybe you're not getting as many bookings as you'd like to have, follow up with that student. Send them a greeting card. Tell them how much you loved their class or how fantastic they did in that last lesson and that you'd love to see them again. I know the greeting cards are really generic or basic, but you can pick just the right greeting that would match that student to let you know that not only are you thinking of them, but you remember them and you want to see them back in your classroom. Another great tip with following up is to write some notes at the end of your class about what the student should be working on, and then at the beginning of your next class, if they do book with you, review those strategies with them. Go over some of the things that they should have been working on so that they can warm up into your classroom and it looks like you remembered that student. If you consistently use these same strategies to help that child work on the things that they're struggling with, the parents will know that you're going above and beyond to help their child. And they'll continue to rebook you because they know you're the teacher that cares the most about their child. That is worth all the money in the world. I hope you enjoyed this video today of the 5 tips for building your VIPKid business. I hope that you learned a lot, and I hope that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you next time. Happy teaching!